So, Solo Leveling, the manhwa that took the world by storm and has cemented itself as the most popular Korean webtoon. It even got an anime adaptation from A1 Pictures, one of the best anime studios in Japan. But then why is the reaction of the community
gun to the back of your head, name 5
Solo Leveling characters?
Dying! You're literally dying! You're dead!
Let's see. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. You only got 3 things.
By the way, this video might contain a teeny tiny bit of glaze, so I don't want to see comments like, zip up Jin Woo's pants when you're done, or you're a Jin Woo glazer, or when I'm in a Jin Woo glaze competition and my opponent is Psy. So the story starts with our main character, Jin Woo, a 33-year-old hunter. Not that kind of hunter, chill. Hunters are people that at a certain point in time got magic powers. They use these powers to raid gates that appeared randomly all over the world. Hunters have to raid these gates because all the magic beasts will come out of the gate by force if no one defeats the boss level at the end of the gate. Around the time that gates started appearing, hunters all of a sudden also started appearing, for reasons unknown. Hunters are ranked from E rank all the way at the bottom to S rank all the way at the top, allegedly. Our main character is not only the weakest rank, but also the weakest hunter in existence. He is basically slightly stronger than a normal human. Jin Woo is essentially just as strong as an average Blue Lock participant. That especially stinks because once you awaken as a hunter, you cannot become stronger whatsoever. But that all changed once he entered the secret cave in an E rank dungeon. After that incident, Jin Woo was left there to die until suddenly he got chosen to be the player. See, after that event, Jin Woo gained the ability to train and actually get stronger, an ability that not a single hunter in universe has, the ability to level up. You probably thought of this before once or twice. What if life was a game? What if life had mini-bosses, upgrades, and gacha game like gambling? Or maybe you were lucky enough to see the Sigma Grind motivational shitposts on Instagram that say stuff like, prove them wrong, become a monster, grind like it's a game. The show plays on the curiosity to know what it's actually like to be a player in the game. And they add another layer of excitement because Jin Woo has to keep it a secret that he's, well, solo leveling. See, I'm like you YNs, I can crack jokes. And I love the fact that he starts off being very weak and every episode he picks up a rare item or skill along the way, rapidly seeing him become the powerful hunter he is today. That process makes us, yes, you and me, feel like we were rooting for the underdog since the very beginning. Jin Woo's journey is so fun to watch because he's picking up bits and pieces and triumphing over bigger and bigger challenges, using his past experience to overcome the next in a short amount of time. In Jin Woo's fight against Baron, for example, he uses his stealth skill he got from defeating Kang, the Quicksilver skill he evolved in episode 6, and an upgraded version of the dagger he got after defeating Bakura. Because we can recognize these upgrades from past events, it makes his wins feel very satisfying and earned. I go more in depth about this topic in my Beauty of the Fast Growing Protagonist video, by the way, if anybody was wondering. As far as characters go, or the lack thereof, I feel like it's a waste to have a good premise, good world building, and great flexing, but no good characters to back it up. The character's only goal is just to make Sun Jin Woo look cooler. Like, have you noticed that every female character just jizzes their pants whenever they're near him? Like he's Michael Jackson. Slight tangent, but Michael's aura was actually different because I have yet to see people faint after seeing Jin Woo. So aura-wise, he's still second place. If I were to describe solo leveling characters with a soundtrack, it would be this. Now, if I were to use another soundtrack to describe the side characters of another anime with around the same hype, say Blue Lock, it would be... Oh yeah, and before she gets animated, I'm gonna let you guys know, I'm a fan. That being said, I think the way the author shows Jin Woo's coolness, it's clear that he went into a lab and scientifically engineered the coolest OP main character. I mean, just look at how he slips away into Bakura's blind spot and turns invisible at the same time. There's no reason to do all this. Like, okay Jin Woo, we got the shot. Or just his nonchalance and the way he be saving every girl last second. Okay, but let's talk aura economics for a second. All Jin Woo's flexes are cool, and the amount of times he does cool stuff, has definitely solidified himself as the aura farming king. After my glorious King Piccolo, of course. But Jin Woo's aura farming has less weight behind it. If you just compare the aura farming Jin Woo does against what Luffy does for aura farming, and yes, I am a One Piece fan, I'm just not one of those animals. Once the fighting matchups are made in Wano, and as per usual, Luffy is late, but when he arrives, he notices his injured friends on the battlefield. Between the two Emperors of the Sea, Luffy, without hesitation, proceeds to slow walk past them, while completely ignoring the two opponents that at this point in the series are most definitely stronger than him. We know this because Luffy got one shot at the beginning of the arc. As Luffy keeps walking, and the silence is being sliced on each of his steps, and even Kaido and Big Mom are surprised at what is happening to him right now. After realizing that they're being ignored, all the while Luffy keeps walking, and his face is still mostly covered by his straw hat. This scene was so tense, and it showed how calm and confident Luffy was in that moment. A moment where you would not expect Luffy to be so stoic, because most of the time Luffy is like this. It's about the contrast. You can't be cool and stoic every day 24/7. It takes away from how memorable and how cool the aura farming is gonna be. Like this scene that Jin Woo is staring at Baek Joon-ho, for example. That just holds less weight to me. Not only because the show is trying too hard to make him look like the coolest guy in existence, but also because he does stuff like this every episode. Hated is the man that farms aura constantly, episode by episode, and reaps little, but beloved is the man who farms aura occasionally and will harvest plentifully. And that was a quote from Gandhi. Have problems with the quote? Take it up with him. And I think some people are aware of this fact, which is what I think led to this tweet. And all of that aura farming and flexing would have been fine if there was just more to his character. Jin Woo seems like he's kinda stuck on one emotion most of the time. I feel like you would expect him to still have the same kind of inner monologue as when he was an E-rank hunter, but in my opinion his personality changed a little too fast. Like, you would think his personality would be a little more like Season 1 Midoriya for a longer amount of time. But he faces one boss level on his own and he starts acting like, "You can't face a boss alone, Jin Woo." Why is this beta still talking to me? He's not wrong though, but I can do it. Of course, I'm solo leveling. And the show kind of explains this away by the thing they set up, like the fact that he gets stronger the more emotions and humanity he loses. But I personally think they progress him too fast in relation to his personality changing. For him to be as strong as he is right now, you would think he would have less empathy for people. Because I would still describe him as a good person. Even as someone who's finished the manhwa, I still haven't seen real decisions that made me question his morality. Master Oogway would probably see more evil in Tigress than in Sun Jin Woo. Just saying. For a show that focuses the most on one character, I fear that his character writing is not up to standard. But hey, maybe in the web novel his character is actually way better, having character development akin to Eren or Shinichi from Parasite the Maxim. Something that definitely is up to standard and even exceeds it by a wider margin than I expected is the world building. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, but the world building and lore is really interesting. In fact, Jin Woo is one of the few main characters that is actually curious and wants to learn more about his world, which compared to other main characters is actually a breath of fresh air, because most main characters really don't ask the correct questions. Like every time he asks a question to one of the NPCs and they get censored by the system itself, it really gets me interested and makes me speculate about the world. Also, I just love the fact that they put effort into making the hunter system actually feel real. Seeing as you have rules like that you need to accomplish 10 raids before you can own a guild, or that you can buy and reserve gates as soon as they appear. Solo leveling has a lot of those tiny rules of legislations that makes the world feel more realistic and immersive. And a fun fact is, one of the reasons that I kept reading the manhwa was the fact that I was so interested in the world and I was so curious to how everything came to be. The moment you answer one question, like two more arise. And in my opinion is one of the better things in the show that no one talks about. In my opinion, Jin Woo leveling is a pretty okay to good story if you really like non-stop action and constant upping of the stakes that the shonen battle demographic provides. It also has very underrated world building, and it's pretty good at setting up some certain things in the beginning. I wouldn't recommend solo leveling to somebody who's more character driven though. This show gets 6 egresses out of 10. A fun fact about this channel is that my series that I have, what's it called again? Growth of a certain character. It's pretty much, a lot of it is based on solo leveling's leveling system. Like with the title, like he beat a few wolves and he was like the wolf slayer, and I added that into that idea for the video and the leveling system and the skills he got, and I kind of expanded upon it and made it like a series. Like so it's like kind of a fun fact if you didn't know that. Which you didn't know because I'm just telling you right now. You know what? I'll just end the video.